morning. Please share this video, invite someone to this video, to this live. We're going to have a phenomenal time on this morning. Of course, I am Mike Grubbs. I am the co-founder of the Lit Television Network, an inspirational family television network that helps to educate, equip, and empower people of color. And on Sunday mornings, I have the distinct privilege of having the opportunity to pour into some of the most phenomenal business owners, entrepreneurs, this side of heaven. These are people that are not only just mentors and giants within their industries, but they're giants among their peers. A lot of times when you hear people say, hey, look, you want to make it to this meeting because there's going to be people in that room that you need to meet. Well, these are the type of people that show up for these Sunday calls and these Sunday sessions. So this morning, I want to introduce the son and just really get you guys well acclimated with someone who is went from being a stranger to being a friend to being a sister that sticker closer than a friend, if you will. None other than Donna Reaves. Good morning, Donna. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Pastor Grubb. So honored to be here with you this morning and allowing me to share a little bit about myself and just to brag on you as well, because you've turned my world upside down by bringing me back into teachings that is taking me, my personal life, and my business to the next level. So I am just so grateful that I am in your family.
Well, I'm telling you, just overjoyed to have you. And I didn't know then that it will become what it is today. You and I met a couple of months ago, and during that time, you were looking to enter into another phase of your life doing podcast/television. So, of course, you and your business partner, Latricia, reached out to me and said, hey, look, we have this idea. We think that you're the perfect person to help us with getting to where it is that we're trying to go.
Absolutely. And what a connection, what a merging. I, again, am just grateful that that introduction was made. I lived in Jacksonville. I did for 13 years. I never met you when I was there, but Latricia still being in Jacksonville and making that connection, and now being on your platform is just an amazing step in the right direction.
Wow. So I'm excited. We're going to dive right in because I can't wait for my audience to get an opportunity to get an opportunity to understand the who behind the what. Like you have all these credentials and accolades and things that you've done in corporate America, that you've done in entrepreneurship. But tell me this: who is Donna Reaves? Who are you? Where are you from?
Absolutely. So Donna Reaves, originally from New Jersey. And I grew up in a humble beginnings with my grandmother, my great grandmother, and my mother, and three siblings. There's four of us. We didn't have much, but I'll tell you what we did have was love. The money wasn't there, but the love was there. And one thing that I noticed was my mother never asked for a hand out, but she was always giving a hand up. And that instilled in me who I should be. And I think I've taken that baton and run with it in regards to just trying to help as many people as I can. I left New Jersey. I've lived in many states, Virginia, Florida, and now here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Traditional business owner as well as corporate America. I spent 45 years in the financial services sector. I retired 2 years ago, June of 2024, as a vice president for Wells Fargo Bank. And my traditional businesses were stores, retail stores in Regency Square Mall, and then a brick and mortar store in Jacksonville, Florida. So I've done quite a few different things, but I can tell you one of the most lucrative things that I have done is what I am doing today, because I feel like I can bring my purpose forth, which is helping others. I'm just grateful that I have the vehicle which enables me to do that, and taking people out of their comfort zone. Many people are so comfortable in that comfort zone, but taking them out of the comfort zone into the money zone where they can leave a legacy for their family. And I know we're not taught that in high school, college, go to school, get a job, you're going to retire and be fine. Well, those days are long gone. So I am in this vehicle today and helping people all over the world leave legacies for their family.
I love it. And one of the things that I love about you, Donna, is that no matter who I meet that knows you, everybody sings the same song. And one of the things my grandfather used to say, if the owl, if the mockingbird, and the woodpecker are all singing the same song, then there has to be truth to it. And there's people that you've met during this duration, during this season of your life, that all say the same thing. Donna has helped me not only change the way that I see myself, but the way that I see life as well. So take us along the journey. Take us back from you being the little girl that you were and evolving into this giant that you are today.
Yeah, thanks for asking. I think it really comes from commitment and focus, and also coming from not wanting to stay where I was. As I said, humble, humble beginnings. And I watched my mom work extremely hard, very, very hard. Gave up her career. She was a nurse, Metropolitan Hospital in New York. She gave all that up to come home to New Jersey so that she could take care of her grandmother, which was my great grandmother, who had fractured her hip early on and it was never set right. So she became bedridden. But she gave all of that up to come back and be able to help family. And as I watched my mom, as I said, it really instilled in me that we're here on this earth, not just for ourselves, but to help other people. So I was driven. I got the opportunity to go to college because of a track scholarship. I would never have been able to go to college. We just couldn't afford that. But I did get a track scholarship. Grateful to my guidance counselor, who's no longer with us, Bob Smith. But he is the one that set it all up and said to me, 2 weeks going from my graduation in high school, I've got a track scholarship, but you need to leave in 2 weeks and go to school. And I did that, and it was the best thing that I ever did. Again, teaching me discipline, teaching me commitment, and teaching me how to maneuver on my own, not ever really being away from home before, but that's exactly what I did. And I got to school, I went to work, certainly graduated from college, and then went into the corporate sector. And there I learned early that, you had to have a voice. People don't like when you have a voice, but you have to have a voice. You have to speak truths, and you have to maneuver with integrity. And so, although many of my bosses did not like me, they respected me because I always operated in excellence and I always told the truth. So this journey that's taken me from college and then into corporate America and then entrepreneurship, I became an entrepreneur at the age of 26
Wow.
because I knew that corporate America was not enough. I wasn't making enough money. Somebody introduced me to entrepreneurship and I dove in. And I'm going to tell my age, but that my first entrepreneurial job or business, excuse me, not a job, was with A.L. Williams, which is Prime America Today. That was 26 years of age, learning how to talk to people, listen, and then find a solution for whatever their hurts were. So today I'm basically doing the same thing through freedoms. Many of us are looking for freedom, and I'm teaching people how to obtain financial freedom, personal freedom, and time freedom, but doing that and using a system, using a blueprint that is already proven and people are successful from it. There's no need to reinvent the wheel, right? If you learn something and it's working, you need to follow that system so that you can get the same successes as others have.
One of the things that I can say that I've come to learn and know about you is that you very, very seldom leave away from the system. And you just said you were going to tell your age, you didn't, but I do want to say this. Every day when I wake up, at least 3, 4 times a week, I see you in the gym. So the same consistency that you used when you would run and track all those years ago, you still get up and make your health just as important to you today as it was back then. Talk a little bit about that journey.
Absolutely. It's funny. I did what a lot of people did during COVID. And people did one or two things. They really worked out and got strong and got fit, and you're like, wow. Or they did what I did, and I sat in my recliner and I began to spread, right? So I put on some pounds during the COVID time. With Wells Fargo, we were home for 3 years. And so I did not do the things that I needed to do: mind, body, spirit, physical. And 2 years ago, I said to myself, I can no longer operate in this body. I don't even know who this body is. And I got a trainer. And the important thing of a trainer is that they're taking you beyond what you think you can do. They are coaching you and showing you that you're stronger than you ever thought you were. And they're giving you the right formula in order to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. So I started out with a trainer. I got to healthy eating, back to healthy eating. And within that 2 year period, I actually lost 67 pounds. But it comes from commitment, consistency, and focus. Like anything else in life, we cannot achieve the goals that we want to achieve if we don't have consistency. Many people join gyms, New Year's, and they go for the first month and then they stop going. Well, you're never going to be able to achieve that goal consistently. Anything you do, you're going to get stronger, building that muscle, whether it's mental, physical, but you have to have the consistency. And many of us don't have the discipline. And that's where a coach and mentor comes in. And I bring that as well to my business as a coach and mentor, because it is so important to be able to guide people, show people the way so that they can achieve their goals and be aware that they can accomplish anything they put their mind to.
Wow. I want to bring something you said to the forefront. Naima Miller said, "Oh my God, you're telling my story. Miss Donna, you got to meet Naima. She's actually my cousin. We graduated together. But she worked for the state of Florida, had a career that was stable, that was secure, that was financially rewarding, but there was still limitations on what she could earn because she was inside of a state payment structure, if you will. And she became an entrepreneur. She opened up a hair store. She launched a business for her granddaughter, selling lemonade that just went viral. And then she has her own hair products. Can you talk to the woman out there that's working in a job? And a lot of times, job to me means just over broke. You make enough money so you don't quit. They pay you enough money. I mean, they pay you enough money so you don't quit. You work hard enough not to get fired. A lot of times, they're not benefits. But then you have women that have stability, they have benefits, but the life that they want to live, them depending upon that system is not getting them from where they are to where it is that they want to go. Can you speak to that and why you started making the transition?
Absolutely. And this isn't just for women, it's for anybody out there over the age of 18 that can have a business, right? But we are conditioned to think that one stream of income, corporate America, is going to get us to where we want to go, which I started out saying. And it's just not true. There are limits. Yes, I was a vice president for Wells Fargo Bank, but I knew I would never get over that level because I did not fit the mold of the person that they wanted to give that SVP job to. Why? Because I am honest, I'm speaking the truth, and I'm calling a thing a thing. But it's so important, no matter who you are, to have multiple streams of income. Warren Buffett, never rely on a single source of income. You must invest to create a second source. He didn't say go out and get in 2 and 3 jobs. He said invest. And so that means investing in yourself, investing in something that is going to give you the vehicle in order to get to that wealthy place. Now, many of us rely on going to a 9 to 5, and that's the clock mentality. I want to teach people the hourglass mentality. Time really doesn't end because you are putting forth the effort in you, in your business, helping others to achieve goals that possibly they never would have been able to on their own. Many people look at me and say, you retired 2 years ago. What are you doing? My mission is not over. My purpose is not over. Literally, I'm here to help people. And, we've had many discussions. I have agents in 18 different countries. Why? Because I'm helping people that never would have had the opportunity to be entrepreneurs, to be business owners, to be financially free and leave legacies for their family without this vehicle. So it's important, and this isn't quit your job day. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is get your own, start your own business, turn your passion into a paycheck. That's what I've always done in my life. Anything I'm passionate about, I'm going to turn it into streams of income. This particular business that I'm in, it's 8 streams of income. I couldn't get that from corporate America. And so believe in yourself, put yourself first. And when you do that and put in the work, then things are going to shift. That paradigm shift is going to come, and you're going to realize, wow, I gave corporate America all that time, all that effort, and I really got nothing out of it. But if I put that time into myself, my business, helping others in my community and outside of my community be successful, then I am going to be way wealthier than I ever thought possible.
Wow. You said something that was so prolific and profound, and it's going to help me pivot into where I'm going next. Um, when met Lutricia on this journey, right? And she introduced me to you for the first time. She's on now. One of the things that took place during that call, we were supposed to be talking about advertising. We were supposed to be talking about marketing. We were supposed to be talking about a podcast and a TV show. And Latricia literally spent 15 to 20 minutes talking about the impact that you made in her life.
Mm.
Let me fast forward. About 3 weeks ago, on our Sunday teachings, our seats, our Sunday gatherings with yourself and the other entrepreneurs and business owners that's inside of there, there was a lady that showed up about out the blue, and her name is MJ. MJ is on here as well now. And MJ comes on the call, and when I get to the portion where I ask for reflection and feedback from the sessions, MJ spent 15 minutes. I'm not 15 minutes, but I'm saying 15 minutes. But the first portion was talking about the impact that you have made in her life. Now, I know that you and Lutricia have years of history, 20 plus years of history together. But then to meet someone that hasn't been in your life so long, as long, to sing the same song, it says a lot about you as a person. So let's talk a little bit about this thing that you've done from then to now, as far as helping people get from one level to the next level. And then we'll start talking about the vehicle that you're in now.
Absolutely. And, I thank Latricia as well as Emma J. Emma J. Regis is out of the beautiful island of Tobago, originally from the United Kingdom. And I met her 3 years ago. She joined me in my business, and she's a powerhouse. But her life has changed because she never thought that she would be able to have what she has today. And she's just getting started. So I've only known her 3 years. Latricia, 23 years. I met her at Regency Square Mall. I believe it was day 6. out of being released from prison. I had no idea at the time that that was, but our spirits came together. I hired her at my establishment, and we have been locked arms ever since. Why? Because I saw her talents, just like I see Emma J's talents, and I pull those talents out. Latricia, I gave her a job. I gave her a place to live. I helped her in her journey of realizing her worth, because people had told her for so many years that she was not worthy. She was not an asset. And she came into my life, and I see this flower that needs to bloom. She just needed the fertilizer. She needed the soil to be tilled around her. She needed the sunshine to allow her to grow into the unbelievable entrepreneur and business owner that she is today. But most people that have been in my life, and I believe relationships are the real currency. I still have friends from kindergarten, and I am about to be 68 years old, because relationships are important. And if you show people how much you care and how much you are willing to support them and help them in their journey, teaching them how to fish. I do a training on teach them how to fish. I'm not bringing you the fish all the time. I'm teaching you how to fish so you can go out and teach others how to fish. That's the duplication. That's part of the system, right? The duplication. So it's just really important to me that as people come into my life, I share with them how I have made it to where I have. And more importantly, I didn't do it alone, right? I had support. I had people there guiding me. Now, if I had some of the mentors in my life back then when I was really young that I have now, there's no doubt that I would be much further than I am today. But that's why I pour into so many people and I help them in their journey, because I don't want them to make the mistakes I have, and I can show them how they can deviate from making mistakes that are going to set them back. So yeah, I have some powerful women and men in my organization, and I am just, again, grateful that I have the vehicle in which to help them go to a wealthy place. And it's not just money. Money is important, but wealth comes in many different ways: spiritually, physically, mindset. And of course, we all need money to live, eat.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. You just said a mouthful. I think that a lot of times we as a people and a culture, we get so caught up with the hand until we forget the importance of the heart. And that comes with people, that comes with relationships, that comes with even God. So many times we get in so pursuit of what's in his hand until we forget what's important inside of his heart. And one of the things that I love about you, Donna, is your concern is always the heart. It's always the well-being of the person, because you operate from this perspective of you do the right things, money's gonna come. And so I love that about you. Nathan Scott, good morning to you, sir. Nathan Scott also joins us on our Sunday morning calls. He's been in finances forever and a day as well. You guys get an opportunity to meet Nathan. Mr. Scott, and as well as Tamara Hill. Sister Hill is on. For those of you that know me, of course, you got to know Tamara Hill, the movie writer director. She also joins us on our Sunday mornings as well. But I want to take it a step further. I want to talk about where you are now, Miss Donna, because you're retired. Like, you can be fishing, you can be planting gardens, yet and still you're at this chapter of your life. We're in the gym working out, at the same time helping people get to the next level of their life. So let's talk about what are you doing now and how it's impacting the lives around you.
Absolutely. I coach and mentor others to design their best life, literally, and that is through one of the largest industries in the world, which is travel, sports, and entertainment. But it's much, much more than that. And it's because with this vehicle, and this vehicle came to me from our CEO and our visionary, Donald Bradley, out of Atlanta, Georgia, where he created a vehicle for ordinary people like you and I to have extraordinary lives. But he didn't just stop at our life. He gave us the ability to earn a legacy. And that legacy, if I were to die today, all of the money that I make on a daily, weekly, monthly basis would be left to my beneficiaries. And then it would go to theirs. That's legacy. That's the wealth strategies that we never learned in school. But this business is really a self development program with a compensation attached. And I've always been a learner. I always read. I always wanted to further develop my skill set, sharpen my axe, be surrounded with like-minded people that wanted what I want. And I found that 9 years ago. I found the vehicle. And once I realized that I could share this in all these countries, I went to work because I didn't want to keep this to myself. I didn't want to just help the people around me. I wanted to find those people around the world that were hungry, that wanted a different life, and to do it through one of the sexiest industries in the world, which is travel, entertainment, and sports, because this industry, you don't have to chase or you don't have to convince. Now, I say that because I've been an entrepreneur for 40, 46 years, something like that. And I've been in businesses that I had to chase people to try to give them or convince them of my product. I don't have to chase and convince here. I don't have to convince anybody that they need to go to Bali or convince anybody that they may want to go to the Super Bowl or a concert. So I've taken this vehicle and I have become the solution for so many people that just don't know how to do it. Again, it's a system, it's a blueprint. And so with this vehicle, I am able to, I'm a travel agency owner. I book travel for myself and others all over the world. But in addition, which is the meat of my business, I sell travel agency franchises. Currently, I have agents in 18 different countries that I would never have met, one, without this vehicle, and two, without platforms such as yours and social media. So I'm grateful because this vehicle is allowing me to touch people with something that is what we call recess, right? Remember, as a child, you always wanted to go out for recess. Well, we sell recess. It's just you getting paid to go out for recess. Not just the recess you send other people out to, but the recess in which you take yourself. But more importantly, being able to duplicate that, being able to give people the vehicle to mirror exactly what I'm doing. Sell travel agency franchises in over 22 countries. 2 weeks ago, we just went into UAE. We're about to enter into Germany. And we're moving. And we're moving because people are looking for something that they can use or get involved in that literally is going to change their entire financial platform as well as their life, right? It's very easy to get caught up in the mundane. You know, you go to work, you come home, you sit on the couch, you watch Netflix, and you're wondering why your life is still looking the same. Well, here we teach you how to travel the world, show other people how to travel the world, sell travel agency franchises, which is really where the wealth comes in.
Wow, I love it. One of the things I want to talk about is the mindset that you have. Although it changed, it still remained the same. And here's what I mean by that. You went from being a brick and mortar local business owner here in the city of Jacksonville, right? Small business owner. Then you also stepped into corporate America. And now you have a global company that you're operating and helping people change their lives globally. But the consistency has always been there to help people. So let's talk a little bit about that thought process, how that would never change, and it hasn't changed in all these years.
Yeah, I think that people want things, everybody wants, but they don't want to put in the effort to get what they want. Um, and so it's really important when you get mad, meaning make a decision about what you want in life, you then have to put in the work to get it. You know, I want a lot of things. If I don't put in the work, I'm not going to achieve those things. Nothing is free. People always say, oh, I want to do this, but do I have to pay anything? Do I have to do any work? Nothing is free in life. And you have to put in the work to achieve the goals. The more you put in, the more you're going to get out. But the consistency, the commitment, the focus is no different than me going to the gym and you seeing me work out with a trainer. There's no difference. I'm doing that because it's very important to me to be healthy and to show other people they can do it as well. I get so many comments in my DMs, cheering me on. You're making me get up off the couch. I watch you almost every morning that you're at the gym. I want to do what you do. Well, you can, but you got to put in the work, right? Faith without works is dead. This business, there is no limit. You can make as much money as you want to make, but the only way that you're going to do that is be consistent. I gain muscles because I'm consistent and I'm committed to that consistency. So it doesn't matter what you want to do in life. It really does not. But unless you are committed, focused, and consistent, you're not gonna get there. You are not going to get there. And I think that when people realize that, or they have that entrepreneurial spirit, or they know that they need a vehicle, they just don't know what that vehicle is. Here comes Donna Reaves. Let me show you. I have the solution for you. I have the system for you. I have the blueprint for you that is going to allow you to get exactly where you want to go. But you have to be teachable. You have to be coachable, and you have to be reachable. Because if you're not that, you're not going to learn. And self-development, as I said, is so, so important in sharpening your axe. So no matter what platform, no matter who you're in front of, you can articulate what you are trying to teach them. So I can't say more about consistency and commitment. And I am that girl. I have, from a young age, I have been consistent, committed. My family often say, girl, come out of that office. I'm on a mission, and I do, because I separate my time, my fun time, to my work time. But when it's my work time, I'm putting in the work. I am not playing around, because I have too many people that are relying on me to help get them to exactly where they need to be.
You said something that keeps ringing in my ears, Donna, and it's the third C, which is that word coachable. Earlier in our conversation, you began saying if you had the coaches then that you have now or had the longer way, you would have been further ahead. Let's talk about this mentality that a lot of people don't feel as if they need a coach. So why do people need, especially business owners, need coaches?
Absolutely. There are experts in fields. And so you enter somewhere not being the expert, anything that I joined or I got involved in, even being a traditional business owner, I was not an expert. I had to study. I had to align myself with people that had the expertise to show me how to do it and then continue to grow and take it to the next level. If you're not coachable, if you're not willing to follow or let somebody mentor you that has been through it, you're not going to get far. Now, I'm not saying you're not going to be successful, but you're going to go into a lot of pitfalls that you could have maneuvered around. And a coach is just that. You know, there's football coaches, there's basketball coaches, there's track coaches, there are business coaches. That's why they call me the intentional change agent. I intentionally want to come into your life and help you maneuver through things that I've been through already, or my peers, my community, the culture that I align with are in, so that I can help you become successful much quicker. There's no need to make mistakes that you don't need to make. And a coach who studied, who knows the blueprint, is going to help you get past those things that maybe keep holding you back or not allowing you to grow to the level in which you can grow. And a lot of it is mindset. You know, if you think you can, you're right. And if you think you can't, you're also right. So you got to get that mind set right before you enter anything, because I don't allow negativity in my space. I'm not a negative person. I want positivity. What you put out, you know, the law of attraction comes back to you. You need to send positivity out. And when people come into my world that are negative, I let them know that you can't stay in my space, because there's only love, positivity, and forward thinking here. And I don't have time for any negativity.
One of the things that come to my mind is I don't care what level of person I've met, where they are in their entrepreneurship or their business journey, that most people refer to, identify as being highly successful. They all have coaches. They all have someone that's deposited into them. And I'll never forget our first conversation, which was a business meeting, mind you, advertising, marketing, podcast, and television. And before we got off of that call, the first thing you said is, I need a mentor, I need a coach, I need you to help me. And one of the things that makes me so humble is every Sunday, like the degree of people that's in that room, and you know, Miss Donna, like some of these people that's in this room are some of the top business strategists and life coaches and business coaches anywhere. They're the coaches to the coaches that a lot of people refer to. And for them to show up, and for you all to show up Sunday in and Sunday out, because not that it's about money and the relationships, but the spiritual growth and development as well. And that's something that I will always applaud you for, because we also so many times miss that aspect of it.
Absolutely. And I'm just grateful, like I said, that I was given the opportunity to meet you. It was about business. And in that conversation, I said to you that you are the expert. You own TV stations. You are the expert. I'm coming to you for you to coach and mentor me in taking my business to another level. Like I advertise, but no, I want your platform. Show me how to be, you know, on a gospel channel, Duval channel, global. So people that want what I have can have access to me. You are that expert. So of course, I asked you to be my coach and my mentor in that lane, as well as spiritually, because that's what I needed. And you didn't hesitate. You jumped in, and we talk weekly since that first meeting, which, you know, I know you're a extremely, extremely busy man, and to bring me into your fold and help me in regards to my journey into taking my business to another level, which ultimately means helping more people. God is good.
You know, a lot of times people see the glory and they don't know the story. Like they read about you in magazines or newspapers or online, and not know the why behind the what. They see what, but don't understand the why or understand the how. you said something else earlier, is that you provide solutions, and that's so important. And I definitely want to stick a pin in that because of the fact that we live in a day and age, a time, an era of society, especially online, where everybody has an answer. You got people that give you 20 different answers on how to help you make more money than what you're making now and know absolutely nothing about the industry you're in. You are solutions driven, solutions focused. Let's talk a little bit about being solution driven and solutions focused.
Yeah, I mean, it's like anything else. You know, you first have to study, you first have to get the knowledge, you first have to sharpen your axe, right? Through self development. As I said before, this is a self development plan with compensation attached to it. But it's so important, right, to be able to listen to someone's hurt, listen to someone's need. We're so quick to talk over somebody, want to be heard. But when you listen, that's why we have two ears, right, and one mouth. Listen to what someone is saying to you. You're going to be able to identify their hurt, identify their needs, and then provide a solution for them. Everybody doesn't want to do what I do, but in listening to them, I can help them find other solutions that are going to allow them to take themselves personally and professionally to another level. And so it is extremely, extremely important that you research, you know, on people that are offering you the sky and the moon, you know, on social media. Make sure that they are the real deal. I do a lot of Zooms. I'm in, you know, 18 different countries. I do it all via Zoom because I want them to see me. I want them to see my heart, see my eyes, see my personality. You know, I'm not some scammer behind the scenes trying to take anything from them. I am trying to give to them, to take them to a place that they possibly never thought that they could get to. So I am solution driven, and that's what has gotten me to where I am today as well.
Wow. So let's talk a little bit about what's next. What's next for Donna Reeves?
Oh, goodness gracious. You know, people say you retired 2 years ago. You didn't retire. And I didn't. You know, I've been in this business so for 9 years. So I did it part time for 7 years while I was still a VP with Wells Fargo. But I'm continuing on this journey. There's so many souls out there that I need to help. So I am continuing on the journey that I am. I say in 2 years, which I'll be 70, I'm going to slow down a little bit. I'm certainly looking to purchase property in another country so that I can enjoy the fruits of my labor and then certainly help others come and do the same. But I'm not going to stop. You know, people that sit down die, and I got too much work to do. I don't want to die. So I am going to continue to work out. I'm going to continue to be healthy. I'm going to continue to provide a solution, provide vehicle to people that want that change in life. And again, if you're willing and you're willing to put in the work, then the sky's the limit. You can have absolutely anything that you want. But one of the things I want to say, Pastor, is, you know, this is so much bigger than travel. You know, it's about mindset, it's about development. And again, it's about those freedoms, financial, personal, and time. We are in a community of many international countries, which I'm grateful for. That's how my business has grown. But I'm intentional. I'm intentional. And that's where that name came from, intentional change agent. I am intentional about building relationships and keeping those relationships and transforming people's lives so that they're not just living, but they're leaving legacies. And that's huge. And it didn't come from me. It came from a man that had vision. And then He took that vision and he spread it to the masses. There's 147,000 of us that saw this gentleman's vision. I'm just a small little seed. But when he planted this business in me, and it began to grow, it began to develop, it began to spread, not just in the United States, but in all the international countries that I'm in, I knew that I had landed exactly where I was supposed to land. You know, sometimes in life you're looking for that place. You're looking, what can I do? How can I do it? How can I enjoy what I do, but do something very impactful? And that's me, maybe not everybody, to change people's lives. Well, I found it. And for me to be able to use this vehicle to touch people's lives all over the world, I couldn't ask for anything more. So if you're listening to me today on this interview, invest in yourself. You know, I want you to participate in your own rescue. People want something, but they don't want to participate in their own rescue. And I really want you to ask yourself 4 questions. Why? Why not? Why not me? And why not now? You know, procrastination is a killer. Stop procrastinating. Do what you said you wanted to do when you wanted to do it. You see, because the greatest reward is to become the person that they said you would never be.
Wow, that is so powerful. As a matter of fact, for those of you that want to get in contact with Miss Donna, will you let them know how to reach you?
Absolutely. Phone number is 904-674-4969. Again, 904-674-4969. Or you can reach me at the intentional, not the intentional change agent at gmail.com. Intentional change agent at gmail.com. I will be very, very grateful if I can be assistance of you, helping you with solutions and helping you with this vehicle that, as I said, is changing so many lives. And I'm grateful for my visionary in this business, which is Donald Bradley.
Wow. One thing in closing, over the course of the last 6 weeks, we've been talking about the importance of vision and the difference between vision and sight. Dwell just a little bit inside of that before we get out of here for today. The difference between vision and having sight.
Oh, now you're taking me to church and you want me to remember my notes. I should have brought my church. I should have brought my church. So, you know, many people can have sight. You can see, but you don't have vision. It takes a visionary to create something that other people can see and pursue, right? So visionaries are very, very, very powerful. So you have your visionary. He's created or she's created something that other people can see. But you do need people with sight, because those individuals with sight are then passing that message of the vision of the creator. So you cannot maneuver without either, but a visionary is the person that is setting the stage, that is putting it in front of us, that is mapping it out, that is creating the system, that's creating the blueprint that we can follow. Because then people that can see or have sight can follow that system or blueprint to get and understand the vision that this individual has put in place.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Listen, I want to thank each and every one of y'all that have taken time out of your day. Some of you guys are working, some of you guys are working out, but wherever you are, you took time to have a conversation with Donna Reaves and myself. I told you she was going to bless your socks off. I told you earlier, I don't believe in coincidence. I believe in divine appointments, and this is just one of those divine relationships that have been brought into my lives and into my life. And I never want to hold back anything good from you all. So, Ms. Donna, I thank you so much for sharing not only your story but sharing some time here with me on this afternoon. Well, on this morning, if you will.
I want to thank you so much for giving me this platform, for believing in me, for mentoring and coaching me on this platform, which is so critical to my next level. I couldn't do it without you and your teachings, every Sunday morning, blessing me and so many others with your teaching, broadening our horizon, making us understand the correlation between teachings and our everyday life, and especially all of us being business owners and entrepreneurs and bringing that into our business. So I am so grateful. I want to thank you for allowing me to be a part of your journey and your vision. And I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what comes in the future because of this merging that we've done.
Absolutely. It's all about helping to educate, equipping, empowering people. And that's a journey that we're both on. So it was destined for us to meet. So, with that being said, for those of you that want more information about Miss Donna Reaves, she shared her contact information. I'm debating now. Should I put it inside the post or make you guys listen to the whole interview? But we'll get the contact information out there. But nevertheless, what I'm also going to do is now to have a couple of commercials. And so throughout the course of the day, I'll air both of them on today, and you'll see me sharing these commercials throughout the course of the week, which will give you even more depth and insight of what it is that she's doing, what she's building, and the way that she's helping to change lives literally all over the world. She's someone who understands. She understands it from the local level. She understands it from the corporate America perspective, but now she's a global business, a global brand, and that just takes on a different mentality. She's someone that's not giving you answers. She's giving you solution because she has receipts. And that's one of the most important things. When people try to give you advice on how to get from one level of your life to the next level of life, the first thing you always want to ask is, where are your receipts? Where's the proof that it's working for you? Because quite naturally, if it's not working for you, how then possibly can it even work for me? So thank you all so much for tuning in. If you haven't done so already, follow Donna Reaves on her social media platform. She's easy to find. As one rap artist say, Google me. Google her. And you'll find her. But connect with her because she has receipts. She understands what it's like to be a small business owner. She understands the retail space. She understands the corporate space. She understands finances. She understands all the things that you can be going through, in life as a business owner or someone that has a job just over broke. Where there's a glass ceiling, there's limitations on how high you can go. And I'll say this, just because no one else in your family has never done it before, it don't mean that it can't be done. You have to continue to dream. And if God shows it to you, then he can give it to you. And you just have to connect with the people. And he's always raising up somebody somewhere to use their power, their ability, and their influence to help you. And Donna Reeves just so happened to be one of those vessels that he's raised up to use her power, her ability, and her influence to help you. So thank you all. And again, follow Donna Reeves.
Thank you,
Good evening.
Pastor. Greatly
Thank you
appreciated.
so much. Thank you so much. See you guys later.